Shalom Elikim. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yah, Yahuwah, through his son, Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother, UncleK, and we're back with another one. I hope you're having a Baruch day, and I hope right now you have a sound mind and a sound heart. Now, before we get into the content, like the content, share the content, and comment down below. And if you're not a supporter, become a supporter right now. I just advise you to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. So let's get into it. You gotta stay masculine and keep it moving. A lot of people out here that try to provoke you and try to entice you and try to reel you in with bait. It's only but a joke, man. It's only but a joke. You can't be touched, first of all. When you walking with Yahuwah, you can't be touched. When you walking in his righteousness, you walk set apart. You can't be touched. You could only be provoked. People can only give you suggestions based off of body language and based off their mouthpiece. Right? These women could give you a million choosing signals, but they know that they can't have you. They know that they can't have you. It's when you live and set apart, you top tier. You're top tier. You're beyond financial. You're beyond status. You're beyond those things because you already have status when it comes down to the Most High. It's like when you offline and online. What does it say? Offline, online. Sometimes it say busy. But when the Most High looks down upon you, you're online. You're on his radar. He watches over the wicked and the righteous, but he has his hands on you. So you're online. That means you got so many Baruchs, man. Man, he giving you so many blessings, man. Just to wake up another day and breathe and just to be Kodesh, to be set apart, to value things that's going to make you a better man. You online. So that makes you top tier. Right? I know we see this happen very too often, that a woman will give you a million different choosing signals, and in the same breath, she looking at the floor, right? She real timid and real shy, but when she come into the midst of another dude, she approaching with all that, you know? And not to say that don't happen to us, because a lot of these harlots, they be real bold at times, right? But they still know that they can't touch us though. It's all a suggestion. It's all a bait. They try to get into your psyche, right? It's the same thing that goes on with these men out here that sometimes feel like they got to put on a tough man act all the time. You know, those that want to be in the streets, that want to seem like, you know, they got some type of stain or status in these streets, in these so-called hoods and trenches, so-called, right? When they come into the midst of you, you know, they know that you can't be touched, right? That's why they in a sense, they look like they're trying to humble themselves. And that's why in them scriptures it say you got to pay attention to the enemy, because listen, anyone that's practicing things that's against the Most High, they're considered your enemies. That's why you got to be super duper watchful. Even when a harlot is giving you all these signals, your indication, your discernment, that radar, you can see everything through the fine lines. You can see the whole blueprint. Same thing go on with these individuals that try to come at you with these hate tactics. You know, trying to showcase, like, you know, they have violence on their mind, right? So if they can't get somebody that's strong and well built, that stand on a foundation that can't be shaken and can't be moved, they're gonna go at someone that doesn't have those things. And that's why in the book of Psalms it says that they meditate and they look at the righteous to find a way on how to bring them down, right? They try to look at you so they could laugh in the background and say, aha, 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 aha. The Most High Oluwa, Elohim, is not with him. Aha, aha. Look at him now. Look at him now. So then they could get you in a moment. So they all come together in council, saying these harlots, these individuals that want to be in the streets, that's actually working with the adversary, all of them working with the adversary. Remember, the adversary doesn't just come at you on one angle. He comes at you in different facets, but you have to see it in that way. You have to see the attacks, right? Because it's only subtle attacks. He's a roaring lion, right? But we're courageous, right? You see, he's a roaring lion, but he's courageous. A lot of mighty men in the scriptures, they don't grab that lion by the jaw. A lion got well over 400 pounds of pressure on their bite, and you rip that jaw in half. Come on, man. That's how you gotta be with that vigilance. That's why we gotta keep it moving and stay masculine. You know, fools like to approach. Sometimes they may come at you and seem like they want some advice, but they be only babbling sometimes, babbling foolishness. And when you hear a fool babbling, those scriptures is already on your mind and your heart. You've been meditating on them scriptures, so you don't even speak too much. You just more so a listener. That's why you got to be swift to hear, slow to speak. When somebody talk to you, you got to be swift to hear and slow to speak. And if you have nothing good to say, you might as well not open your mouth. You know, you got to just continue to let them run it up like water. That's why when we speak to each other, fellas, we don't cut one another off. We be slow to speak, swift to listen. Right? See, in this life, man, you know, a lot of people think that they going fishing. You know, they fishing, they hunting. You know, they wake up early, already have wicked things on their mind. Right? It makes me laugh at times when I see that people put so much effort into ordaining themselves just to look like a character, just to, you know, try to be a stumbling block. It's something as well, too, I want to expunge on, too, right? We respect our elders. When you live and set apart, at times, we do have more wisdom than a lot of the elders. And I was reading that in the book of Psalms yesterday. That what you said, I have more wisdom amongst the elders in the council. Right? When you are after with the wisdom of the Most High Yahuwah, you have so much more wisdom than those that are far ahead of your years. Right? And the times we live in right now, we know that an older man, an older woman, you know that in this generation, you know that they are stuck in their ways. So a lot of the elders be so disrespectful. A lot of the elders be so disrespectful. So disrespectful. Right? And you just gonna have to keep it pushing. You know, because when you live and set apart, you can see that from a mile away. Right? They so froward with their tongue. You know, they think because they had some years in life that they could speak to anyone how they feel. Especially when you a younger gentleman and you carry yourself like a man. You know, you're going to get that a lot. You're going to get those that submit and give that respect. And primarily, a lot of the disrespect you get is going to come from elders because it's stuck in their ways. Stiff-necked. Right? Stiff-necked people. Not only our people, but that's all nations. Right? Stiff-necked type of people. And that's why we got to just stay masculine. You know, just keep on moving. You know, when something is not edifying, something that can make you grow, something that's not beneficial, you're going to have to just dust your feet off and keep it moving, man. There's no need for you to partake with someone or an environment that's not edifying to you, that's not bringing you good fruit. It's not going to allow you to bring good fruit. You know, certain environments, you're going to have to fight for that fruit, man. You're going to have to keep on tilling that ground. You're going to have to keep on watering that seed. You're going to have to keep on doing things edifying. You're going to have to come out almost every day. Sometimes the land you live in right now, it's a drought, man. You're going to have to go fetch that water. And you're going to have to keep watering that seed, right? Because we all in different environments, man. You're going to have to find a way how to get that water. And how you get that water, man? You go to the Most High, you get that everlasting water. That water that seed, man. Let that seed grow. That might be a metaphor for maybe semen retention too, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Just talking about edification, man. So we gotta pay attention, man, because, you know, these women out here too, man. You know, they like to, you know, do all these gestures and things of that nature, but they know they can't touch you. They know they don't have that approach, right? They get a little stiff. They get a little shocked. They get a little scared, man. You know, but they still stuck in their ways, you know, because lust is always stuck in its ways, right? That's why we don't partake in lust. Lust don't care. But that spirit of lust, when it knows that you are with the Most High and know that you are resistant and know that it can't latch on you. And these women gonna do that until the day they gone, till the day they perish, right? See, lust is something that consumes you on the deepest parts of your whole being. And it makes your whole being dark, man. All right, you wink up on it, you lusting after it, it's gonna make your whole being dark. And for these men out here that like to, you know, act like they super hard in these streets, you know, even if they not in the streets, you know, and they just, you know, they got that cloud over their head, you know, and it's not the Most High that's using the clouds as his chariot, walking on the wind. Nah, we talking about that fog, that I'm not suited in this time right now to stand on business, right? A lot of these men have let the powers thereof mold their minds to have this kind of imagination about themselves, right? A lot of men wake up in the morning already saying, I'm weak, I'm mad, I'm aggressive, I'm a nobody, I don't have purpose, I got low T. That's what they say when they wake up in the morning, you know? So they come out trying to showcase that, because any man that's moving super duper feminine, you know, for us masculine men, right? We have that aggression, right? We have that, oh, I'm quick to react, meaning I'm very aware, right? Like I could pinpoint something, or I could move out the way for something, you know? And if something doesn't suit you, or something that's not right, the situation not right, yeah, you do feel like that power is starting to increase, right? You're starting to bring all that energy up, and it's about to, like, you know, it could explode right through the fist or something like that. But in the same breath, you super calm and you just reevaluating the situation, right? But for a dude that's like that got that estrogen-based mindset, he's just really emotional. You know what I'm saying? Super duper emotional. Walking up and down the street on the phone, arguing with a woman. Every time he see a dude, he looking mad. He trying to cause conflict, you know? He trying to act tough. You know, he look like a tree branch, no muscle, but acting like he got 180 pounds of lean mass on him, but he ain't nothing but a feather, you know? We gotta stand clear of these people, man. We just gotta stand on that business, man. Stand on that masculinity, man. Stand on Yahuwah through Yahushua HaMashiach. For real. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yah, Yahuwah, through his son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother, UncleK. And I appreciate y'all for tapping into another one. Like, share, comment down below. And if you're not a supporter, become a supporter right now. I just advise you to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Continue to have a brute day. Keep a sound mind and a sound heart. And I'll see you soon, Most High willing. But for now, peace.